Make a salutation to Guru Shakyamuni Buddha. Kange doze ne zon ne dawa damje bambe je dambe june dunze be godam de la cha ze. And make salutation to all the lineage gurus. Onye nye je zondo jobe lam se je ganji dende ge chana beme dende nyazo la zowa debzo da ju jin ye. Then strengthen the altruistic intention, the altruistic commitment that we have in relation to taking the Buddhist vows in the past during initiations or in general Bodhisattva vow practices, and especially if those of you who have attended today's the Bodhisattva precept conferring ceremony by the compassionate Buddha himself. So here, through the prayers of the four immeasurable thought, and try to strengthen, the commitment that you have. If in case you have not lived up to the Bodhisattva precepts, whether to do with the aspirational commitment or the engaging Bodhisattva precepts or the commitment, if in case in the past, or even just in a past moment, that one remember that oneself unable to live up to what you're committed, then here try to restore them, try to restore the commitment. And those of us that who still confident preserving the commitment freshly in the full strength, carry along our mindfulness in our day-to-day activities up to this very moment. Then let it, increase it is force to make it most effective, developing the Bodhisattva's path towards enlightenment. And at the same time, we also dedicate this for the rest of the numberless sentient beings who anyone that are bounded by self-grasping and self-cherishing attitude. Due to that, committing immense of actions of body, speech, and mind, introduced by delusion, and creating so much causes of present suffering and future, causes for future sufferings. So we dedicate this regeneration of bodhicitta to be complete cause for the rest of the numberless sentient being to actualize this precious wish-fulfilling mind or wish-fulfilling attitude. So keeping that in heart, then we meditate on the four immeasurable thoughts while we are chanting the prayer. Semje damje dewa dang dewe gyu dang dembara gyu je semje damje dunga dang dunga je gyu dang dawara gyu je semje damje dunga mebe dewa dang mi dawa gyu je semje damje nyere jana nyedang dawe danyong la ne bara gyu ro semje damje dewa dang dewe yu dang dembara yu je semje damje dunga dang dunga je yu dang dawa yu semje damje dunga mebe dewa dang mi dawa yu je semje damje nyire chadang nidang dawe danyu la ne bara yu ro je semje damje dewa dang dewe gyu dang dembara gyu je semje damje dunga dang dunga je gyu dang dawara gyu je semje damje dunga mebe dewa dang mi dawa gyu je semje damje nyire chadang nidang dawe danyo la ne bara gyu ro. Okay, thank you. Yes, today one of the most auspicious, most meritorious day in entire uh, existence of our time throughout the year. So therefore, first of all, really feel delighted, feel rejoice, yeah, express gratitude, feel happy from depth of our heart. Still have this precious human rebirth in this today. Still to enjoy, abundance, abundance, numberless, vast, profound, extensive merits, which are abundance of causes for our future virtues, future happiness, not only for ourselves. It is so beneficial. We're able to accumulate so much causes, virtues, meritorious causes, not just little, but abundance for this very life's karmic infinite loved ones, starting from your parents, your children, your loved ones, to the rest of the numberless sentient beings. In the samsara, looking at the position that what we are having now, you can't have any such opportunity in anywhere else. The amount of merit and the virtue that we are able to accumulate, or amount of deeds that we are able to create, which is so beneficial for the rest of the numberless sentient beings, if not more, but is equal to all the bodhisattvas and buddhas of the past, present, future. See, that much fortune, that much luck that we have, just to have a life today. Yeah. You agree with me? Yes. You have no choice. You have to agree with me. Otherwise we have to spend maybe few sessions or few hours, giving quotations to prove for me to prove to you. I don't want to go through that. So you have to help me, to have a very relaxed, easy, this very, very joyous evening, otherwise I have to squeeze the brain to, quote. So I hope that you have by now, at least you have at least some, maybe, some degree of trust in me, after you testing me for so many years. I think some of you have been testing me for maybe 20 years, 30 years. So minimum, maybe years, at least few years. Okay. So now, you see, so this is the thing, you see. Yes, in the world, there's so much adversity, so much sufferings are happening. Yes, so that's exactly what is the reality of samsara. So even ourselves being in the midst of samsara, carrying the samsaric aggregates, and it's like a one single dot from numberless, numberless things, able to have this precious opportunity to be most beneficial for the rest of the numberless sentient beings. That makes how precious you are, isn't it? How precious each and every one of our life is. You see, so therefore, even thinking about suffering, all the problem in the world, we have to be stronger. We have to be even more motivated. We have to be more uplifted to take the full advantage of this precious opportunity. We cannot feel down together with the rest of the so many others who are helpless, who really don't have any opportunity, any freedom, completely tormented by suffering. That, even in the humanity, in today, right now, millions. Just think about India and Nepal, millions going through the suffering of pain. There's no opportunity to get away from the domination, the intense domination of suffering. How to think about virtue, how to practice Dharma. The intense suffering, you see. Then there's a numberless sentient beings, even in humanity, millions who are completely away from cultivation of virtue. Cultivation of virtue. There are millions there who are completely indulged in the worldly sensual distractions and unable to utilize the full potential that they have. This altruistic basis. In order this altruistic basis, even though it is equal to every single sentient being, but need to have a conducive condition to express it. You see, like the animals, like so many other rest of the 6 realm beings, even though their basis is altruism, but unable to express because of the condition, because of not having the conducive condition. Even in the humanity, there are so many there who are out of those conditions, you see. So from that point of view, we really have to feel so fortunate. We have to think this every day, every now and then, especially when we start to feel meaningless. We feel we are wasting our time. We feel life is worthless. We feel, too much of day-to-day ups and downs. We immediately should think about this, think from this point of view. You see, even looking at the suffering aspect, intense suffering aspect of the samsaric existence, we can make ourselves even stronger than before. We make ourselves even more motivated than before. Be more helpful to others than ever we have been before. You see. So then, if we think of the good side, like such as past and present Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, when we learn about their their virtues, we get so inspired. But then, looking into our own position, we are very much the intensity we don't know, but we are very much doing our very best, dedicating our whole time to be just like them. Don't know whether we're able to become like them or not, but at least, the motivation is there. The wholeheartedness is there. The sincerity is there. And from that point of view, you can count yourself in the category of one of them. In the category of one of the past, present, future Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Maybe not present Bodhisattva, not past Bodhisattva, but future Bodhisattvas. maybe tomorrow, maybe tomorrow morning, who knows? You see. So from that point of view, see, how to say, again, be motivated, again, become stronger, you see. Our ordinary way, our usual delusional, habitual, ordinary way is when we look up to someone who's better than us, we feel depressed. When we look towards those so suffering, worse than our situation, we feel depressed. Then at the end, yourself become kind of like a total lost. You see, but in the practice of altruism, whichever side that we relate to, it has to become a cause to make ourselves stronger than ever before. You see, so something like that. So I'm not quite sure what I'm saying. This, yes, my point is, yes, you should feel happy, even though so much thing going on in the world. Should feel happy and should feel motivated. And the best thing that what we can do to benefit not only to yourself and your loved one, but to rest of the numberless sentient beings, is through the cultivation of altruism, through the dedications of your merit, in the deeds of altruism, dedicating one's own entirety of time, whatever we do in altruism, and that, like what the compassionate Buddha Chenrezig himself said this morning, and in many other teachings. You see, the cause of all the sufferings are due to our past karma, and the most effective antidote to purify that is altruism. You see, to help to condition other suffering sentient beings to purify their karma is through the help of altruism. To help ourselves to be free from negativities is to cultivate altruism. You see, so therefore, those of anyone that who dedicated this during this auspicious month to accumulate compassionate Buddha's name mantra, to stay focused on the practice of altruism, and to accumulate, to gather the virtues of our body, speech, and mind, of the altruism, like such as accumulation of Omani Pemihong. Then, in relation to that, physically engaging in any form of practices like mandala offerings, prostrations, etc. Then doing the Cherisik sadhana, the meditations in relation to compassionate Buddha. So, so therefore, our life has been so meaningful, so beneficial, as I mentioned before. So therefore, taking today's this auspicious day as all the reason that I've given before, we should be even more motivated from now on. Yes, even though this particular Saka Dawa money is very precious, but as long as we cultivate altruism, as long as we practice Omani Pemihong, as long as we utilize our physical energy, in altruistic deeds, then it's very much like every day is Saka Dawa. Very much like every day, every future day will be Saka Dawa. The reason saying for that, as long as we're able to accumulate altruistic merit, and that merit surpass, in any other virtues, and that merit is numberless. We did mention about the merit multiplying. Saka Dawa has a power of merit multiplying. One merit 100 million times. Then, due to many Buddhas' special deeds are performed this month, 300 millions or 500 millions, whatever we have said before. As long as we continue to accumulate altruistic virtue in the coming days, even after Saka Dawa month, we can able to accumulate equally, numberless merits, numberless causes for one's own temporary happiness after the ultimate happiness of enlightenment. Numberless causes and conditions that you can able to give, you can able to offer to rest of the numberless sentient beings, from temporary happiness up to the ultimate happiness of enlightenment. So like that. Yeah. So today, so we do short light offering. Then after that, if we have time, then those of retreaters, if you have any question, then maybe we can do a few question answers. So I think I will stop talking now. So maybe yeah. So just what I said about compassion becoming power, not a weakness. Compassion or altruism in our day-to-day life, whether relating to the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, or whether we relate to the immense suffering being. We have to train ourselves to make ourselves become even more motivated and stronger than before. So like that. So keeping that in heart, and we do the light offering. So I will use the light offering prayer that composed by Lama Atisha. So here it says, may this vessel become as vast as the entire billionfold of universe. So the candlelight, whatever size that you are carrying, even in case if you are not ready with the candlelight, just light that you have in the house, you can visualize that. So the vessel that contained, whether it's butter, oil, or whether it's the electricity, you just regard, as vast as a billion-fold universe. So this is what Atisha said. May it is weak grow as large as Mount Meru, the king of mountains. So the wick. Also, you can see in the electricity there's a thing that which spark the light. Regard as huge, like Mount Meru. May the oil within become as vast as a great ocean at the edge of the world. So the candle waxed. Then the electricity. Then the oil or the butter. So one should regard, one should visualize as a vast ocean. The ocean, the edge of the world is like entire places completely filled with the ocean, with the water. So that kind of visualizations. And may the billion such lamps appear before each and every Buddhas. Then the light, even you're holding one candle light, or you just lead one light in your room, you should visualize they are infinite, infinite in numbers, infinite in numbers. So yeah, infinite in numbers, and also visualize that there's an infinite merit field, infinite Buddhas and Bodhisattvas and Gurus. Infinite merit field out there. Then to each of the Buddha, each of the merit field, there's a numberless times of the light. You should visualize like that. Their light banishing the darkness of ignorance everywhere. So the light conventionally, it brightened entire universe, entire existence. The effect from this merit, effect from this practice of the light offering that offered to the Buddhas, offered to the merit field, become an antidote, to purify the darkness of ignorance in every single numberless sentient beings. So, in order to make it sensible for this practice, then right this very moment, you look into your own mind and try to design your attitude that at least during this period be free from confusions towards reality, like emptiness, confusions towards karma, confusions towards dharma practices, like even whatever benefit, whatever visualization I'm explaining now, if we don't clear the confusion, we may think, how possible, we still have a question mark. how possible? They say oceans, it's like, how possible, So this confusion. Then they say, just thinking like that, how possible, we easily have that mind, and just by visualizing, how possible to have a numberless merit field, how possible to have a numberless candlelight that also receive numberless times to the each Buddhas, how possible? Usually we will think like that. So this is a confusion. This is also impact of ignorance. So to make sense of this line, banishing the darkness of ignorance everywhere. So you should start from your heart. Have a single pointed, 100% irresistible faith in what Lama Atisha is saying here, and 100% definite what Buddha have said about the emptiness, the ultimate reality of yourself, your aggregate, rest of the phenomena do not exist from its own side. Everything is existing merely in the name labeled by mind. Mm. You know, whatever the way how we perceive does not exist in actual reality in that way. Every phenomena is a lack of inherent existence, lack of true existence, lack of intrinsic existence, lack of independent existence. Every single existence, exactly what the Buddha says, it exists in the nature of dependent arising. Whether we have realization on this or not, right this very now, this is exactly what Buddha said. So we just completely have a clear, conviction, trust what Buddha have said. This is what it means, banishing the darkness of ignorance in our heart. You see, you may be in front of your altar, or you may have a picture of, Buddha's images in your mind. Now, you don't see that as a material object. You see absolute Dharmakaya of the Buddha in that statue, in that picture, in that idea of Buddha in your head. See, have an absolute, definite conviction that Buddha means omniscient. Omniscient means omnipresent in entire existence. So you just have a full confidence, that Buddha is in everywhere. Buddha is in every pose of your existence, every single space of your room, in every single thing, see, and in every single thoughts of yours. Like almost, it's something that which you cannot differentiate. What is your thought and what is Buddha? What is your thought? What is omniscience? You cannot differentiate. It's like totally oneness. So this is what it means, banishing the darkness of ignorance. If you open your eye, if you are seeing your family members right in front of you, you don't see them in the ordinary person. Yes, you see the same image, same look, but you understand them. It is essence oneness with the Buddha. Oneness with the Buddha. Because this ordinary that we use to think about your partner, your children, your parent, is a misperception, is a hallucinated view. That's not the real one. Buddha said that's not the real one. Where we've been keep persistent in that idea, which is wrong. Now, at least this very moment, listen to Buddha. Surrender yourself, what Buddha said. Surrender 100%. Okay, I've been very, how to say, rigid for a long time. Okay, at least today, Saka Dawa, I'm doing light offering. It doesn't take more than a few minutes. I surrender to you. I surrender 100%. So you look at your partner. Oh, I see. That's absolutely different than what I thought. So you look at your Thanga and say, I thought it's a wonderful painting, but actually much more than that. Unbelievable. Like that, is it? Oh. Close your eye. You close your eye and think about yourself. You realize that, wow, you're absolutely not that how you used to think about yourself. You're so precious, as precious as a Buddha. You see, that's my reality. That's my ultimate. So this is what it means, banishing the darkness of ignorance. Yeah. So completely turn our awareness into pure view. The pure view, not a mistaken perception, pure valid view. Understanding the absolute truth of every existent, and that's the valid idea. You see, in fact, this is one of very powerful meditation that you can do in day-to-day life about this idea. So this helps us to purify the root cause, which is the ignorant, like that. Yeah. So. Then it says, from the very peak of existence down to the lowest hell, may they reveal all the realm of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas throughout the 10 directions. Now makes sense, isn't it? Now makes sense what we have just said. Now makes sense. From the very peak of silent existence down to the lowest hell, everything revealed into Buddhas and Bodhisattvas throughout the 10 directions, including yourself, including place that you are in. Everything, becomes celestial mansion, and the beings within the celestial mansion. You see, so we need to tease in the meditation that we have just done before, then this next, bringing about the actualizations of the celestial being, the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and this celestial mansion of the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, actually possible. You see, actually possible. So this is the way how we purify, our contaminated aggregates, and eventually we become just like the Buddha, the resultant one. You see. So this is the progress. This is very profound stages of the path, even just this light offering practice. Yeah. So during the light offering, at least, starting from now, on the valid reasoning, as reasoning given before, you really view everyone as a Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. Everything as a celestial mansion. In your understanding, especially in the wisdom of emptiness, that's true. Then after that, the blessing, the light offering, Om Vajra Aloke Ahum. So Om, the three bases of which is which make up a basis of a person, yourself, that are going to be purified in order to actualize the resultant Om, the Buddha's holy body, speech, and mind. So there's a 3-syllable letters, or Ma, become Om. Vajra is also, Vajra can refer to the emptiness. Vajra can refer to Dharmakaya. Vajra Aloke. The Aloke is a light. So for the wisdom light, the light of the Dharmakaya, or the light, the antidote, the emptiness wisdom. Ahum, bring about absolute the benefit, actualizing, absolute purifications, and achieving the resultant the awakening state of the Buddha. Then Emaho, this wondrous and amazing light burning brightly, thing like that. I offer to the 1,000 Buddhas of the fortunate age, gurus, idam, deity, dakinis, and dhammapalas. So if you have a specific karmic affiliated deities, your gurus, your meditational deities, then dakinis, and then dhammapalas, you can visualize. They are, of course, entire existence completely filled with the merit field, but they are like a spotted one. They are very much like dedicated to you. Like in front, they are like in the front row, face to face to you. You can visualize like that. And the deities of all the mandalas. Yeah, so all deities of all the mandalas completely fill around them. In all the infinite realm of the 10 direction, fill in infinite realm 10 direction. May all beings with my own parents foremost among them. So when you are doing this light offering, you visualize starting from your parent, this life's parent, then rest of the sentient beings who need to accumulate merit, who need to purify the past karma in order to actualize the Buddha's realm, the resultant Buddha's realm. So you become the leader, you become the Chan leader, you become the leader of this practice. Then starting from your parent, the rest of the sentient beings are following you. When you hold the light, they are holding the same. So whatever visualization you have done, the teaching we have just done, you have to think that each and every one of the sentient being too have that capability of understanding and the practices, including those of the sentient beings who are not human now. Then those rest of the sentient beings, for the purpose of this practice, they all actualize as this precious human rebirth, like you, and have a full conviction and faith in the practice and the refuge and the merit field, and making this practice together led by you. In this and in all lives to come, whatever our place of birth, always see directly the perfect Buddha's realm. So you dedicate to all sentient beings. Here you can dedicate specifically to those who pass away. Those who are going through the still the death process, who are going through the intermediate process, and who are about to actualize the new rebirth, the conception. Let's say you visualize that this practice of the light offering become a cause and condition for all those who in that journey to have a meritorious karmic condition to when they have a new rebirth, they reborn in the Buddha's realm, like Sukhavatis, right directly, they have the opportunity to receive and guided indirectly by the perfect gurus of the Buddhas, perfect gurus and Buddhas, like such as Chenrezig's Pure Land, Amitabha's Pure Land, and this is especially so powerful and so beneficial that we should do this to especially those animals, animals who died, who don't have from their side the capability to accumulate conducive conditions to protect themselves, at the death, intermediate state, etc. You see, so we can engage this practice to help them. So visualizing that no one, reborns into suffering realm, like that. And once they're born into the Buddha's realm, like such as Sukhavati, then right there, like definite confirm within that Pure Land, they will actualize full enlightenment. And remain forever inseparable from Amitabha, Lord of the boundless light, can think like that. Grant your blessing so that through the power of truth of the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, and the deities of the three roots, this prayer of aspiration may swiftly be fulfilled. So this is very important point again. Since you are dedicating, your light offering to all noble sentient beings, and also specifically, those beings who are going through these 3 stages of life, 3 stages of life to what's a death, life, death, rebirth. One shouldn't doubt about your prayer's dedication. See, one should have a full confidence that this definitely 100% going to help them. And so this will make the prayer so effective. It becomes so powerful, effective, and simply ripen these prayers onto the sentient beings. You see, so in order to do that, then the power of the Buddhas, then the power of the interdependent, power of the emptiness nature, and power of the aspirational prayer that you made, and power of your sincere heart. Your sincere heart. See, there are a few points. You see, so you think of that. See, power of the Buddhas, deities, as I mentioned here, Dakatakinis and Gurus. Power of emptiness. Power of your aspirational prayer. And power of your sincere heart. You really want to help them, isn't it? You really want to help them. See, so as long as all these points and conditions are gathered, then even the prayer, you may not know how to chant. You may not have a very intense visualizations, but whatever prayer you made becomes so effective. You see, so like that. So this is what it's saying here. This prayer of aspiration may swiftly be fulfilled. Tayata pensadia our Buddha ne soha. So this is to really whatever said before is all prayers to be actualized in reality. Like that. Okay. So especially all these practices, if we practice this way, it's so helpful if sentient beings that who still have opportunity to not to experience the karmic consequences because their karma is not fully completed. Their karma, the sentient being must have committed so much negative karma in the past, but there's one factor, the conditional karma is not encountered yet. Before that negative karmic condition encountering, you save them. You deliver that karmic condition to patch to the virtuous karma of that sentient being. Then at the time of death, don't have to complete by the negative karmic conclusion. Then even in the intermediate state, they still divert their journey from lower realm to the higher realm. Even they're about to reach to the mother's womb, about to, conceive, then, the consciousness can be influenced, you see, so that much benefit that we can offer. So this is like that, okay? Okay, so now we do the light offering. So now I will chant in Tibetan. So you can, if you have the text, you can read. Otherwise, you visualize, you meditate. You hold the light and you meditate. Yeah, first I will do just general blessing of the light. Then also will recite the Samadabhadara's offering practice. So if in case if there's if occur limitation in our visualizations, etc., then the power of the Samadabhadara's prayer will help our practice become extensive. So the fusion bodhicitta already done. So now I will do the purification practice, purify the any ordinariness, any negative substances. Then after that, do the invocations of the merit field. Then after that, Samadabhadara's prayer. Tamje dune zaje da zema la zo me ba da la de danya bendo ye ran shin jambo ne juro je ma le den je gun je do de bon je ne se jom de ngona ma le yang da je jo be jom de bor je ne te do ada mi ye je be je ngo zong jan da ye je do ko san je de na nam ge kam ge ja ba juro Omo namo bhagavate bedasara pamadane tadakataya harahati samya sambudaya tayatha beze beze maha teza beze maha bhe beze maha beze beze maha Dhamana beze dawa kama varana bije dana beze yaso omo namo bhagavate bedasara pamadane tadakataya harahati samya sambudaya tayatha beze beze maha teza beze maha bhe beze maha beze beze maha beze mero pada dhamana beze dawa kama varana bije Omo namo bhagavate bedasara pamadane tadakataya harahate samya sambudaya tayatha beze beze maha teza beze maha bhe beze maha maha bode mendo pada dhamana beze zawaka maha varana bije dana beze Gwenjo sumye denpa da sanje da chanchu senpa tamche je chinje la Sonye yonzo zobe nga da chenpo da soje namba da je samje me jebe doje dede chinye do do Om benza ara gama ba dama bube dube alonge gende myo chabda dade zaye Okay. Oh. Ngồi mà mẹ nè nè tôn tôn ye tôn chen bo ji den kam je ko yo da nyang bo ra yu ro ji tôn bo ne ri ja bo ri ra ba cham do yu ro ji mar go ne tha ye ja zo cham do yu ro ji Chang ne sang je re re dun do dong ju ro re re jong wa ra yu ro ji Weje sibe zemo menche ne ma narme be nyawa yenje de marebe memba tamje san choje sangye da chanju sembe shingam tamje musum do tongxin sawarai gyuru o benza alongge ahong o benza alongge ahong o benza alongge ahong Ema ho ngo zara me jo na za dwe me de ga za sang ye dong za la so be ram ja ju ju jin ga ma le be la ma ye da ma kan do che jong da jin go ro la zo nam la be wa ra ye pa me che je sem je tam je ye se ra wa de da je ne tam je do zo sa ye be xin gam dong Oba me gue ni da yer me sho konjo sum da za sum la zo Dembe tu ye mo lam de ta ba de nyu do do bra chin je la do Daya ta penza deya awa budana yezo. So then dedicate in bodhicitta, dedicate in emptiness, and dedicate in the unifications of generation and completion stages of the tantric path. Then the general dedications of bodhisattvas. Then we'll recite the long life prayers. Then also we'll recite, we'll dedicate to pacify all the sufferings in this very stage, especially the suffering from pandemic around the world. Then also dedicate to fulfill all entire mundane and spiritual wishes of everyone. Jewa deye nyodo dan lama sanje dubyo ne dowa jiya male ba deye sala go barai. Chanjo zemjo rimbo je ma je panam je juro je jewa nyamba meba yang kone kondo pe barai. Tonye dawa rimbo je ma je panam je juro je jewa nyamba meba yang kone kondo pe barai. Penye dawa rimbo je ma je panam je juro je jewa nyamba meba yang kone kondo pe barai. Pama zemje damje dena denjurje ngendo damje tadu dowa dan chanju semba gana sujo deda gunje malam drubjurje jambe bawe chidra jemba dan gundo zambo deyan deji deda gunje jezo dalo je jawa deda damje rabdo ngo duzon jebe jawa damje de ngowa kana jodo ngaba Daje jeve zawan de gunjan zambo jeje rabdo ngo warai je kare rabe kowe shingam de pendan dewa male jove ne chere zewan tenzin jazo shabe zede bado tenjuro je topzo chanji jango jave den zinjo bebe kunzo dobo je chozon kowe leme todo tazo deje gundo shabde jo semje ne ba chenye ba nyodo ne le ta juris dove ne ne ma le ba da do juwa me ba rai vedan zo wa mi ge be yi she no bo pa sam ji semje re wa kun ze samba je jin de be da ye yo men jo ze je ja we jin lam da ten de lo wa me be ten ba da je la san da be do do Nanda mebe ne gun drop joro je nyemo dele zendele nyeme gunya dele je nyinze datu dele kunjo somye da je. So we recite the Lama Tsongkhapa's prayer, 3 rounds. Me me je ve de je re se Te me je be wo bo jan be yang ai je be zo je zo ga ya ba lo zai dai be chai lai zo wa de me me je ve de je re se te me je be wo bo jan be yang kai je be zo ga ba Loi zai dai be chai lai zo wai de. Me me je ve de je re se. Te me ge be wo boy ja be ya. Kai je be zo ga ba. Loi zai dai be shai lai zo wa de me me ze be de chen chen. Okay, thank you. Yeah, so if you want, we can have few question answers. If you have time, otherwise we can stop anytime. So Venerable Lindy, you let me know when to stop, okay?
Not now. Too soon. I know. But
Okay.
if anyone has some questions, you can, you can just, I'm not sure if anyone wants to unmute if there's questions.
Any question? Any past, present, future questions?
Yeah. Okay.
Geshe, I have a question.
Yes.
I was wondering about the syllable "free" during
Yes.
Mani retreat and the use in context with our practices. If you could
Yes.
explain for me, I would appreciate that. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Syllable 3 is the sixth syllable of Chenrezig. So it is it is like the continuum, like ourselves. When we take rebirth, we need the continuum to reborn in a new body, isn't it? So for Chenrezig to be arise, so it need to have the enlightened continuum, which represented by this syllable 3. So if we want to generate ourselves as a deity Chenrezig, then without this syllable, we cannot, we cannot be born into Chenrezig, or we cannot arise into Chenrezig. So it is exactly like our consciousness that on the basis of the true substance of Father Mother, then the consciousness established there. Then from there, your new rebirth began, isn't it? Similar way, sun and the moon disc, like a lotus, sun and moon disc. You can regard like a lotus is like the mother's womb. Sun and moon disc is like a father mother's substance. Then syllable 3 is like the previous consciousness that going to place onto it. Then from there, miraculously, you actualize entire compassionate Buddha Chenrezig, like our previous lives consciousness established on the basis of father mother substance. Then from there in the womb, miraculously, actualize the human body, isn't it? So that's similar works with the Chenrezig. So three syllable is six syllable of Chenrezig. So there are many deities has their own different syllables, six syllables. Yeah. Something like that, okay?
Thank you. Thank you, Geshe.
Thank you.
Geshe, I had a question.
Yes, please.
Hi, Geshe, it's Matt.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Matt.
Geshe, in maintaining a pure view,
yeah.
If we maintain a pure view, do we not then lose the suffering aspect of samsara?
Mm. Okay. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. If we really success to actualize pure view, definitely suffering of samsara going to be loose. you know, why to Buddha there's no suffering, there's no suffering wall, because Buddha have lose this impure view. He carried the pure view of enlightened mind. Even the suffering wall still exists to the Buddha, but in Buddha's perception, in Buddha's experience, do not exist suffering, do not exist impure wall, and that's simply because of perfected in a pure view. So we too, if we train our mind, the moment we achieve the perfected state of pure view, even while you are carrying this condemned body, you don't experience the suffering. So,
Thank you.
but that is very, very tough. You know, very much of our suffering, especially you know, like those in the three precious realms, like three higher realms, like human, like us. We don't really able to differentiate what really exactly the pervasive suffering is unless we use wisdom of the Dharma. You know, we can understand the pervasive suffering or the actual samsaric suffering after learning about how destructive the negative emotions are. Otherwise, we don't feel it. You know, and what we really recognize, so-called suffering, is very much of suffering of pain and suffering of change. And suffering of pain and suffering of change are very superficial judgment. It's simply judged by our gross mind and our sensual perceptions. So you see, so in fact, not even necessary to achieve perfected pure view like Buddha, as long as we are able to achieve certain steady degree of meditation, and we are able to live our day-to-day life with a meditative state, like many of the yogic does, then you are very much free from suffering of pain, and you are free from suffering of change. That's why, you know, even achieving serenity, achieving shamatha, you are not affected by suffering of change, and you are not affected by suffering of pain. So physically, you know, it may be cut, it may be beaten up, or it may be even occurring death. But the person don't suffer. Yes, if you look at the flesh, it is deteriorating. Blood is bleeding, bleeding from the cut. But the person do not suffer, because that person is in the meditative state. So you see, so now how to say? So the pure view, you know, you can balance between, you know, active mind and the focused mind. Because if we want to train ourselves to be free from suffering of change and suffering of pain, you know, we can train through the focus serenity training. So if you train pure view, like, you know, which is one of the key practice of Tantra, you know, in generally, it is a key practice of entire Buddha Dharma. The Buddha Dharma is to purify the impurity by purifying the impure perception, and to actualize liberation. And Tantra, even the Tantra, the meaning of Tantra means pure view. Tantra means meaning, protection to the impure view is called Tantra. You know, Tantra meaning protection to the impure view. So you can see, the moment you do tantric practice, whether to do with the mantra, whether to do with the deity yoga, visualizations, immediately you have to kind of transform, entirety, like what we did through this session. Like everything become divine, everything become, non-real to our normal reality. You see, that our normal reality is actually false reality, not a real reality. You see, it's only experiences on the impure mind. See, so after training in the pure view, whatever technique that you use, then it is kind of like immediate effect to liberate yourself, so effectively and gradually, eventually, that we can really reach to a point that, Dawa Ramjam, like everything, all the sounds is blissful, all the things you see is blissful, so like that. So even in samsara, so-called by the impure view, for you is not a samsara. So we can relate this. In fact, one of the key practice of Buddha Dharma, whatever yana you practice, even whether you practice in sutra or tantra, one of the main sadhana is to train our mind into pure view in relation to our job, our people that encounter among us, and the experiences, good and bad experiences comes in our way. Even this Lojong teaching, Lojong practice is all about training our mind in pure view. And again, that is not kind of like mainly the word, designing our thinking. It's not like that. Because in actual everything, everything possible in relation to the fundamental basis of emptiness. You see, so every Buddha's teaching, in fact, discuss on the basis of that. So on the basis of emptiness, then this is not kind of just designing our thinking, but actually we are transforming into, truthful reality.
Thank you.
Thank you. In one way, it's a bit hard, in a day-to-day, at the beginning, it is hard, yes, how much you try to train pure view, the past karmic whip is very hard. Past karmic whip to our naked buttock. Whip by our past karmic whip is very hard, because the problem is that we have already, we work so hard to have a, we work so hard for beginningless lifetime to store many numberless complete karma, to make sure that even how pure view you practice, you cannot get away from the whip of karma. One of that, we all have to go through the death, the perishing of this body, like that. But still, again, Dharma is still the solution, and Dharma is the ultimate solution, because even we need to experience the definite karmic result of pain, of the suffering, but through the transformation of the mind in pure view, you can, as I mentioned before, like meditators, they can be free from suffering of pain and suffering of change. So you still can go through painless old age, painless sickness, painless death. But not talking about the painless from pervasive suffering, because for that we still have to clear away all our debts of the past, the past completed karma. So that could be, maybe that could be an example. That could be just need to perish this body. Then after that, you emerge with Dharmakaya. That's how that many meditators at the time of death, they get into clear light, and they attain enlightenment utilizing the clear light practice. Then if that not able to do so, you still try your best in the intermediate state. Try to become Buddha in the Sambhavakaya form. If that also didn't succeed, then okay, don't mind. Take another human this body. Then within that life, you try to do as much as purification as possible. Then within that very lifetime, also can be liberated fully. Like this one, you can understand from the Sarvaka and Pateka, the teaching related to that. The nirvana, the nirvana with remain and nirvana without remain. So nirvana with remain, nirvana with remain. You achieve the nirvana before discarding this contaminated body. So nirvana without remain is the time that when you perish this body and you emerge your dharmakaya with the ultimate dharmakaya. Was it your continuum into the ultimate continuum of your, which is the dharmakaya. So something like that.
Geshe,
Yes.
can I ask a question regarding
Sure.
dependent arising?
Yeah.
Okay. I understand that there in dependent arising there are these comparables things. For example, okay, when we say something is left on the right, then actually you are compared to the right. So there's no ultimate something that is left or right. So, but in science, let's say, when we talk about the speed of the light, that is the fastest. So that's why all scientists, they truly believe about this. But at the same time, I did heard a master said before that our mind actually can travel faster than the light. For example, let's say I look at a picture of the Mars planet, I can be there, or look at the picture of the moon, I can be there. So our mind actually travel faster than the speed of the light. So I just want get your comment on this.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay. Our mind definitely can travel faster than anything else. Definitely from the light. So if really compare to the speed with any tangible thing, any scientific, apprehension thing is like light, the mind is numberless times faster. So that's one thing. Now talk about dependent arising. The dependent arising direction, part and particle is the second meaning of what define the dependent arising or dependent existence. So there are three meanings, three meanings in relation to dependent arising. The first one is very very gross, very easy to understand, and most of us can apprehend easily to understand what really the other side of the emptiness meaning, the dependent rising, which is the causality, the dependent rising meaning in the causality. Then after that, slightly finer, but not the finest, which is the dependent arising in relation to part and particles. So now the modern science, like quantum physics, like His Holiness always emphasized, even the modern science has a very close, understanding towards a certain degree of dependent rising, and which he emphasized it can be so helpful to use those analogy in order to apprehend what exactly dependent existence is or dependent arising is. And that is talking about the second one, dependent existence based on cause, part and particles. Part and particles. So then the third one, that which is the hardest to apprehend, and which is that we must apprehend we must apprehend this in order to apprehend exactly what ultimate meaning of dependent arising is, which is dependent arising in relation to concept or of the mind. So dependent arising in relation to your mind, which is exactly the Pasangika Madhyamika or the Nagarjuna Lama Tsongkhapa would say, which is also the final intention of Buddha. Every existence exists mainly labeled by mind. So things has to be exist independent on the labeling of the mind. So everything exists labeled by mind. Everything exists dependent on the label by mind. So that is meaning everything exists in the name only. Nothing exists, by its own nature. Nothing exists, from its own side. Why it is not exist? Why there's nothing is there to exist from its own side? Because everything has to be exist independent on the invitation of the mind. So that is the subtlest meaning of what interdependent arising means. So this have to contemplate more, have to meditate more to really to apprehend exactly how it works. So in order to understand, we have to understand well about our mind, the trick of our mind. Like that. Like within one minute, same object that you can have 65 different experiences. 65, minimum, 65, there can be many different kind of understanding about this light. Like maybe at the beginning you like it, the next moment you dislike it, the third moment you may like it a little bit, the fourth moment you may like it so much, even though it's the same object. So that already kind of proved that that this candlelight do not exist from the candlelight on site. It is very much exists, from the labeling of your mind, dependent on your perception. And more than that, if mind didn't create about making up a candle, how to have a candle? First of all, everything started from the mind, isn't it? Even about human body, this very, we are so kind of how to say, we think that it's like there's a few things make this possible. Actually, everything started from the mind. Even very very lightly, if father mother don't have an idea to make a baby, how to have a baby? It also started from the mind, isn't it? Even your hairstyle also started from your mind. Even growing old also started from our mind. Even the death also, is coming from the mind. So like that. So someone, like not, in the name of someone want to massage you with this mala. massage you. I say, thank you very much. I feel so good. It's very helpful for my health. But not in the name of massage. In the name of, I want to take revenge on you. Same degree of beating, you will feel pain. You won't be thankful. You will scream and you will accuse it. You hurt me, isn't it? And then, oh my, is it? So now, same thing we have to apply in our, like in relationship, in our job, in everything. What you want to experience is not designed by the object. It should be designed by our own thinking. How you want to experience it. Like in the Dharma, you design the mind that if someone scolds you, you feel thankful to the person who has disturbed you, who scolded you. You regard even that person as your guru. And you feel so thankful. You feel so wonderful, You prostrate because you trigger me angry. You disturb me all the time. You are my guru. You are the one that who making my journey to enlightenment faster. No one able to do that. Only you, because you always hurt me. You see? But then in our ordinary, in our ordinary time, in our ordinary, day to day, if someone scolds you, oh my goodness, you ruin my life, you ruin my peace, you ruin me everything, I'm going to give up on you. I'm going to revenge you, isn't it? Everything play off the mind. Even when we go through a very intense suffering, for a practitioner, regard as most fortunate thing ever happened in your life. If this is a result of definite karmic result, now I get chance to purify so that I don't have to suffer the multiplication of the karma, that I don't have to suffer eons lifetime in the hell. Now I can at least, put morphine, I can see doctor, I can still can manage it. The worst thing could happen, I may die, but I don't have to go to hell when I'm alive. At least some pain, so thankful like that. Not more than that. Oh, I want to do the Tonglen practice. I want to take all other beings suffering onto myself. If there's a little one moment of, relief from the pain, even that, not only the merit, but even that you dedicate for the benefit of numberless sentient beings, happiness, enlightenment. And knowing the impact of that, knowing the power of that, is sweeping, it sweeping your journey towards enlightenment so far. It's like push you up, like this, like millions of people out there or force, like push you up. You're like climbing like a tortoise, like that, Suddenly you got suffering, you do Tonglen, it's like push you up. Wow. You physically inconvenient, pain, yes, so painful, but heart filled with fulfillment. And until that you are so intense in your practice, the power of the concentration even overcome, bring the numbness to the physical pain. So that much, you see. So everything is play of the mind. But we need to train. If we don't train hard, we continue to suffer, because the negative side, without our effort, without we need to put effort, without we reminding them to practice, always, omnipresent to train ourselves in negative way. So we need to have a full mindfulness to discipline ourselves to train in the spiritual way, or the Dharma way, or the transformation way, the Lojong way, as much as possible. So not so easy.
Thank you, Geshe.
Thank you. Okay, I think maybe many of your side, I think getting quite late, isn't it?
Mm.
Especially in the other side of Australia.
Not so bad, Geshe. Not too bad. Geshe, there is just one question in the live feed. Do you want to have time for that?
Please. I'm okay. I have time.
Yeah. It's from a Tenzin Kazuma who's watching live. And he says, Geshe, can you please explain more about the Hayagriva practice especially during the COVID situation?
Okay. Also, Medala, from the Chinese students, if they have any question, you can take questions and you can also ask. So you can collect question while I'm answering this. Hayagriva is rawful aspect of compassionate Buddha Cherezi. And Hayagriva is not just a Dharma protector, but it's also a Yidam, is a highest yogic tantric enlightened deity. So it is a highest yogic tantric meditational deity. So Hayagriva, of course, is even though it's a rawful aspect, and the mantras, it is practices has many rawful aspects. If we don't know exactly, we may not sound like is a compassion with the Cherezi, because who is the one of the most peaceful aspect. But then certain karma, certain negative forces are so intense that require, Buddha's manifestation in the rawful antidote. You see, so there are many different activities of the Buddha. So one of them is a rawful activity. So Hayagriva has so many different practices in relation to the Hayagriva Deity Yoga practice to overcome intense, very hard, habitual, karmic depths and negative forces. So something like that. Of course, just reciting the mantra alone, it regarded as so powerful. No question about overcoming, the like light evil forces, like such as negative black magics, spirit harms, etc. But even those very harsh one, also just simply reciting Hayagriva mantra, or even carrying Hayagriva mandala protection with you, it regards very, 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 very powerful. So it's very commonly used. Hayagriva, even though the main lineage of the practice come from like a Nyingma tradition, but even in a Gelug, like such as Seraje monastery, where I study, our main the meditation yidam, or the protector, is Hayagriva. So to bring the also very powerful in bringing conducive conditions to do a very, very tough journey to spiritual practices like a Geshe studies, which are very tough. It require very steady dedication. About 20 over years, and not easy. So by relying, refuge in Hayagriva, helps to keep you focused and clear all the disturbances, etc. like that.
Yes, Hi, Gisela. We do have a question from
Sure.
side. So someone asked about after you receive the great initiation Cherisi, so the commitment you say is 600,000, right? Mantra.
Yeah.
600 mantra.
Generally.
Generally. And then
Yeah.
so first that person want to confirm that. And secondly is that whether it's a long mantra, recitation, the long sadhanani required, the long
No.
one. No.
No. The 600,000 is just Om Mani Padme Hum.
OK， 那么这
Just a
边讲
mantra
说这个，
recitation.
这边讲说这个观世音菩萨的这个灌顶之后是有600万的这个咒数之外呢，这个长咒呢是没有要求的，没有要求的。So then the other question was that during this retreat, Om Mani Padme Hum, we are very busy. I know Geshe said that we should remember to do as much as we can when we're driving or cooking and do everything. And but most time we got busy again. The mind get distracted. By the time I remember, I only have time to only remember to do this when we're sitting down. Usually when during the day, when I remember, I forget. So the person says, how can I increase to do this mantra all the time? Like you suggested.
You need a Cherisi's whip.
另外一个问题啊，有人问问题说，我们想做观世音菩萨的这个闭关呢，格西说应该一天24小时经常念诵，无时无刻的在念。有个人说呢，我平常呢是没有时间，只能坐下来才记得。我们说这个问格西该怎么办？格西说，那呢你就是要用观世音的鞭子来抽你们，要抽好，要抽一下你们，用鞭子来抽你们。
Yes. You want me to send someone, something like that?
可是说那好，你要不要派个人来监督你，是不是每天都在念观音呢？我可以变成一个监督者来。
I can request higher giver to send.
那我是要派马头明王来管你。
That's joking. Yes. Understand. It's hard. You know, if someone who so-called as in the retreat also many hours just don't remember. Someone, you know, who's busy with your livelihood. Of course, understood. But at least you remember at the end of the day, you know, that itself is great. You know, that itself is great. And you don't give up that. You do again and again. And now you even say that you recognize how distracted you are. That also a good sign. So at least, you know, there's so many people don't even realize that you are distracted. Now you're already very good that you at least notice. Yes. So, yes. How to say? Okay. Yes. You can pray to higher giver or Siksam Mahakala. So Siksam Mahakala, especially Siksam Mahakala, is a protector. Cherisi's, you know, like kind of like attendant, like Dharma protector to Cherisi's practice, to assist the practitioners of Cherisi. Higher giver also, but specifically Siksam Mahakala. So there's prayers for Siksam Mahakala, very short. You know, you can recite that. You don't even need to have an initiation to recite that. Then you pray to Mahakala to overcome, you know, the lacking of mindfulness in relation to practice of Cherisic. So maybe Mahakala will help. Mahakala will. This is how the protectors being so necessary for we as a beginner practitioner. You know, you see, it's like a close companion. You know, close companion in relation to that particular practice, to make sure you don't transgress the practices, and make sure that you stay focused on your commitments. So maybe this could be beneficial. Yeah, nobody asked such kind of question before. So I think this is maybe, I think quite good answer. Utilize protector practice. Yeah, so whenever you see all the different deities as a protector, it is own protector. You see, there may be different deities, so many different deities. So all has its own karmic definite protectors. And these protectors are naturally karmic affinity to you because of you have karmic affinity with the practice of that particular deity. So in order to clear obstacle on the path and gather resources on the path is to do the protector practice of that deity. Like in APMD prayer book, that major protector prayers are there. You can find both in Chinese, English, so you can just, just simply reciting and praying is already good. There are much more practices you can engage, like black tea offerings, protector pujas, and there are extensive protector sadhana puja practices there, but start with reciting the prayer.
So Geshe, could I just ask, are you advising we should do that short Mahakala practice
Very much.
daily during the Mani retreat?
If possible, I mean, if those people who feel, like similar kind of obstacles, unable to focus, or sometimes, there's no motivation, it's beneficial, but there's no inspiration, It's like practice is something my late guru used to say, you need to have this spirit of like you are on holiday, how excited you will be, how joyful you will be, how wonderful you will feel, isn't it? Whenever you go for holiday, you will feel something special, isn't it? Not that type of busy holidays, but I mean real holiday, real holiday, So whenever you do any kind of retreats, that you need to have that kind of uplifting, inspired, and the effort is like joyous effort, like don't want to stop. I don't want to stop, but then you're looking for a next session. That's why you want to stop in a good time, then you are so happy. It's like someone just freshly deliver ice cream, if you like ice cream or pizza or whatever, like that. So happy, so thankful, because now you can start a new session like that. You see, so so when you have a low kind of spirit, like losing aspirations, then protector practices can be very, very helpful, very beneficial. Also, you pause for a moment, then meditate, generate compassion, think of the suffering sentient beings, as we discussed before. You talk about how fortunate you are, and you think of how many other sentient beings are unable to utilize their full potential, but each and every one of them no different than your dearest mother of this life. There's no difference. And when you are in this position, if you're not going to do the virtue and help them, who's going to help them? Not even need to think so far. Just think about our own this very life's parents or children, or brother, sister, or partner, who is still happy in samsara. So when you understand the value of Dharma, if you don't practice, then how about, who's going to help them? Then they say, wow, I must practice. Oh, wonderful that I can practice, you see. So this kind of meditation also can be helpful. Okay, so maybe You can stop here. Yeah.
So much, Geshe.
Okay. You're happy? You're happy with the answer? You have you enough question? Okay.
大家够吗
Yes,？
这个答案好吗？
Thank you. So thank you very much. And good night and good morning to Meda. Have a nice breakfast for you. And good night to rest of the others.
Geshe, thank you so very much for us. And I think Matt wanted to. So, Matt, thank you.
Just to say, just a very special thank you, Geshe, for today, for your teaching.
Thank you.
For all the wonderful teachings you've given over the last year, all the Lojong teachings, and for the kindness and the kindness that you bring to Chantun Chong Centre, to all the Australian centres, to all your students, and to everything you do for His Holiness and for Kejong Zopa Rinpoche. Thank you, thank you, thank you. 1 million, 100 million thank yous.
Thank you so much, Matt. And thank you, everybody. Thank you so much. Take care.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Take care.
Thank you, Geshe.
Thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye. Take care.
谢谢Geshe啦。
Continue to stay safe, okay? I think many places, even in like Malaysia, Singapore, not only India, in some part of Europe, it's very serious about the COVID. So please extra careful, okay?
大家小心。
Okay.
Bye-bye.